Hey everybody, I'm just going to get right into this because this video really isn't for anybody but other than the title. Boardman Township Police Department of Ohio. I am getting ready to start having to summon some of you guys into court. This is where you're going to get the chance to prove what you're all about. We already know what Steve Dumbass is all about. But as far as the people that are protecting him, the police department, police unions, prosecutor's office, the courthouse, the bailiff, as far as I know, are all protecting this guy. Now, I know for a fact that you Boardman Township police officers are probably split somewhere down the middle. Maybe even not down the middle. Maybe more like 70-30. On what you guys think about me. Now, it's awful funny on a day that Boardman Township I know that, Trish. I saw what you wrote. But I'm not going to try to. I'm trying to focus on just this police department here, and I'll towards the end, or when I'm done with that, I'll go back and try to see who's asked questions or anything. But I'm going to stick with my subject right now because I'm talking to straight up the Boardman Township Police Department of Ohio. Since how you look up Boardman PD, it comes up with several different places throughout the United States. So I want to make it clear that on this that I'm talking to Boardman Township Police Department. Now, like I was saying, I think it's probably split down the middle, but I think there's a little more than split down the middle on how you officers, you LEOs, and only the Boardman Township Police Department, not the Sheriff Green's deputies, none of them know me, other than through the courthouse. And none of them like me because of that courthouse and dealing with me there. Well, I can't say they all don't like me. Some of them didn't have to deal with me because they weren't pushing the mask yet. But the ones that tried to push that, they don't like me. But I'm not talking about the Sheriff Greens. Not going to be the mass police. I'm talking about strictly the Boardman Township Police Department. Now, I happen to know for a fact several of them that back what I think. They ain't going to come out, say nothing. They're not going to put their jobs on the line. And you know what? I understand them. The charges against me ain't really no big deal. If I was looking at 20 years or something, maybe they might step up. But they're not going to step up. Now, I'm going to be forced to. I'm going to ask first, and that's what I'm doing with this video. I'm going to ask those of you that know I'm going to more than likely have to summons you into court. I'm going to ask you, LEOs on the Boardman Police Department, to step up and do it without me having to summon you. Because I need you there. I need you there as telling the truth, not following orders. And I believe me when I say, whether you come willingly or whether I have you summoned, if you start lying, I'm going to prove it. And this won't be the first time I've proved it in this exact courtroom. And a matter of fact, that was something I was going to tell you guys earlier. The prosecutor that they switched me to now, I was going in under a prosecutor that was running at 3:30 at night. Well, and they did that for my arraignment. They did that for my pretrial. But on my trial, they wanted to put me in front of guess who? They are not in front of, but they want to put me up against guess who? The person they wanted to put, the prosecutor they wanted to put me up against was the same prosecutor that I shut his ass down the last time I was in that courtroom, and a state trooper that had me in there for a seatbelt violation. I used a video, proved them both to be liars. I even offered this same prosecutor the video before I even went in to that courtroom and showed it to the judge. But just like today, in that same prosecutor's office, I think it was about 2 years ago when this happened. But in that same office with that same prosecutor, just like today, when I told them that the officer was wrong or was lying, and the officer jumps up saying, "You're lying, yeah, I wouldn't know way that's happening. You're the liar." And the last time I stepped in front of this sit in this prosecutor's office that I sat in front of today, I asked him straight up. I was sitting 2 feet across from his desk. I said, "Do you want to see my video?" The guy looked back at the clown state trooper. A seatbelt. I did all this over a seatbelt violation, folks, just to make a point. But I said, when I told him I had a video, and old clown officer state trooper jumped up behind me and said, he does not. And I asked the prosecutor, "You want to see it?" He said, "Nope, we're not going to play your games." I said, "All right, well, that's fine. I'll show it to the judge." And that's what we did. We walked into the into the courtroom. Same judge I'm going in front of right now, but same guy. And the state trooper, I done a video on when the state trooper gave me the ticket. And I asked him if I had my seatbelt on when he pulled me over, and he said, "Yeah, well, that got me out of the ticket." It just took me taking it all the way through all the steps. You always got to go. If you're going to fight this stuff, you got to take it all the way to the end. You can't give up. You got to take it all the way to the end. But what was even the best thing about it is not only did I dropped the jaw of this prosecutor that didn't believe I had a video. I dropped the jaw of the state trooper that didn't know I had a video, because, see, these guys think I only video stuff with my phone, that I have no other cameras anywhere else. That's what they believe. And I also dropped the jaw of the judge when I played on my video. And as soon as it was done, I look around and I'm trying to wave the flies out of the state trooper's mouth and the damn prosecutor's office mouth because it was so wide open, everything was flying in. And the judge said, well, from the evidence that was shown to me today, I have to dismiss all charges. Same prosecutor I'm talking to today. And that's who I think they wanted to put me in front or with or against. Since they've changed me now, I was going into court at 3:30 in the afternoon in front of another prosecutor, but they want me back in front of him because he wants another shot at Watachi. That's what this is all about. He wants another shot at Watachi. And he's going to clown himself up, and it's going to be 2 for Watachi and Jesus and 0 for his ass. It's funny, folks. Anyway, we got this officer, man. It just blows my mind because he thinks. Let's put it like this. If he was in the right, if he was 100% in the right, and I was totally wrong, and I was guilty of everything he said, they would have every officer involved that night. They'd have about 15 damn eyewitnesses coming out of the Giant Eagle as me fighting them over wearing a mask. They would have so much evidence that it would just be overwhelming. I mean, damn it, I wish I would have brought it out. I wish I'd have brought it out because it's about 10 pages, and it's the police report's like 8 pages of that. So they're going by the police report and Officer Dumbass word, which is a joke. Now, I wanted to show you guys when I told you earlier why the prosecutor said he could give me everything in the file, but he couldn't give me my background check. Even though he didn't find, he even looked at me and said, even though there's nothing on it anyway. Now, I want to explain to you why he didn't want to print the background check off. Because this was a background check that I'm getting ready to show you. That when they run my name, and it doesn't matter who it is, this was Uber that ran my name for this background check. And this is what came back for my name. Do you see this? I don't even know how many pages this shit is, folks. This is my background. 60 years. See how thick that sucker is? It's hundreds of pages. That's exactly why he didn't want to give me my background check, because it's that thick, and he didn't want to take 20 minutes waiting for the printer to print the shit off. But as he said, and I knew, there's nothing on it. There was, would I be sitting here today? That's what's crazy, man. The more they think I'm a criminal, the cleaner they find my background. Now, how could that be? Because I was a criminal for 40 fucking years. I just never got caught. So all I can say is I must have been good at it. I think Jesus was even protecting my dumb ass then. That's what I think it was. Because I tell you, people, I've known people. I know a guy. I grew up with him. Me and him, and these are one of those stories of my past. When we were in high school, I got thrown off my bus that would come out on my street, which was normal for me. I was usually thrown off in the first 2 or 3 weeks and had to find my own way to school when I was in high school because I couldn't put up with anything. So I was usually thrown off the bus. So every now and then I'd walk down the way if it was cold and shit. I'd walk down to the other end of the neighborhood and catch another bus going in. A bus driver didn't know me. Now my damn bus, I was the worst thing on my bus, and I wasn't doing shit that was compared to what was going on that bus when I'd walk down there. And I'll tell you why. I go down there to meet with my buddy, and his brother. He had a brother that was 2 or 3 years older than me, a couple of years anyway. And he always had pot. But I'd go down there, wait to get on the bus down there. This guy get on the bus. We go back to the bus, start pulling all the windows down, about the last 5, 6 rows of windows on the bus. Didn't matter if it's cold as hell or what. Bus driver didn't give a shit. He really didn't. And my buddy, he'd spark up a joint. We'd sit back there on the way to high school, hitting on a damn joint, man. That's what we used to do, you know. Shit, I tell you guys. I can't even remember where I was going with that now. Oh, well, I was a criminal for years, but this guy, that's where I was going with it. This guy, now he done shit that blew my mind as we got older. People claim I'm crazy. Well, I can show you somebody I claim that I know is crazy because this guy was crazy. But he did a lot of shit. Finally, he had a lawyer. His lawyer finally came up to him, and he's fighting another case, trying to stay out of jail again. He's been in and out of prison. And this lawyer finally looked at him, and he said, look, I'm going to show you. And he opened up his file. He's going, look, you've been popped 46 times. You've been found guilty 44 times. It's time you find a new career. Being a criminal is not working for you. The last time I talked to this guy, he had like 35 felonies of some kind on it, or something like that. And he was working on trying to get some of them off of him for whatever. They're in Indiana. After so many years, if you haven't been in trouble, you can get them removed from your background, you know. But that's what I'm saying, people. I was one of those. I was protected. That's why I say I was protected, because I was not a smart person. I'm telling you, I could be standing there with me and somebody else doing practically the same damn thing, involved in it anyway, and be surrounded, and I'd be let go, and everybody else go to jail, go to prison, whatever, and I'd be let go. That's all I'm saying. That's why I always say, man, people, I was protected, even for the 40 years that you guys wouldn't believe what I thought about God. Yeah, I can't even tell you, because I don't ever even want to think those thoughts again. But the things I thought, and I was still protected, man. I never went to prison. I did 2 weeks. It was the longest time I ever did in jail. And I shouldn't even have done that. But I screwed up. I was on Indian land where park rangers busted me and made claims that were false. And the sheriff's department took me in and held me in jail. And they claimed I was driving under the influence of alcohol. I was at a campground, and all I was doing was... me and my brother, we were up there, Page, Arizona. We were painting parts of the Page High School. They had totally remodeled the whole Page high school, which was an Indian reservation high school. They totally redone the whole thing. They had all the electricians, plumbers, painters, framers, everybody up there. And it was a small town. There was nothing left. By the time the painters, and that was me and my brother, was brought in, we were only one of the crews. They hired my company, and they hired, I don't know, probably 30 other companies in order to get this job done in a few weeks. So we were only responsible for a section of the school. And by the time we got up there, we couldn't rent a room, a motel, a house, or nothing. We had to go buy tents, and the only place there was anything to rent was Lake Powell campground. And so me and my brother went and set up camp on there because we were going to make some good money, you know. And we were drinking one night, and I got to arguing like brothers do. Got a little loud, but we rented these spots in this damn campground. We're on private land, the campground. Instead of sitting there fighting with my brother, I decided, fuck this. He had his tent set up. I had a tent over here. I said, fuck this. We're going to end up fighting all night. So I went over and I threw all my shit right inside my tent, unstaked it. Everything fell to the ground. I rolled it up and slung it. I had a big old Dodge Power Wagon, big old tires on it, set up real high. But I slung my tent, opened the tailgate down, and slung my tent up in the back of my truck. I walk around, like I said, it's set up real high. Opened up the door, and I had to reach up inside, put the key in it, and start it. As soon as I hit that switch, I never got in it, just starting it up. All I was going to do, I was going to pull down on the same campground that I have rented a lot from. Had the right to be there on private land. And I was just going to pull down 2 spots and throw my tent back up down there and call it a night. Because I fired up my truck, there was about 16 damn park rangers and shit come out of the woods. Out of the woods. I mean, we didn't even know they were there. Now, I done slung my tent and everything up in the bed of my truck. I'm walking around the bed of my truck. All of a sudden, I see these rangers, and I've been there before, coming out of every direction, not with just rangers. But as soon as I saw it, I realized what was going on. Now, I got a metal pipe that I smoked my pot out of at that time. It was about that long. Had that in my pocket and a little bit of weed. I don't know what happened to the weed. I slung it. It was never found. But that damn pipe, instead of slinging it out towards the dirt, like I said, people, I've been a dumbass most of my life too. Just slinging it out into the dirt, they'd have never found it. Never known anything. But not me. I figure I just slung my whole damn tent, camp, everything I had is laying in the bed of that damn truck. I'm just going to toss my pipe up in there. It's going to land on the tent, not make a sound. They'll never know it's even there. That ain't what happened. What happens, I sling that damn pipe up in there. It goes bang, 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 bang across the damn bed of the truck. Stupidity. But anyway, folks, I probably bored you to death by now. Always remember, guys, only way out of this is through Jesus Christ. There is no other door. Make no mistake. God loves y'all, and so do I. You guys have a good one out there. Until next time.